Hello everybody and welcome to the next round of the Tail Racing Ring Runners here with the Spec Racer Ford. It's one of the slowest cars of the season. Can't say for sure whether it will be the slowest yet because of course we don't know what the final round is going to bring us. But this round is certainly going to bring us a very interesting 4 laps of racing indeed here. It's only the second time we're using the Nordschleife only in this season. And we're very much looking forward to bringing this one to you. It's myself, Ian Leary, Jez Parfitt with me as well. Not a fast evening of racing ahead of us, that's for sure, as we have a look at the grid. Pat LaBrosse done a 7:45 lap time, which has got in pole position ahead of Evan Crowd with Dave Mull and Dan Kosick on row 2. Then it's Corey Stas and Dean Dilts with Houston Elliott on the pole in the AMS. Dave Hernandez is in 8th, ahead of Anthony Solomon and Rick Putnam rounding out the top 10 with Jason Hightower and Tim Watchout up there of those who haven't set times just yet. Neither have Pat Mage, Stephen Johnson, Chase Petterjohn, Scott Sadler, Christopher Heron, Dylan Hesselink or John Amico. So that is your 19-car grid. A big grid again here, James, for a race that is not going to be a quick one, that's for sure.
It's not, but we were talking in the green room before we come live, and I think these cars are, they are literally skateboard attached to 4 wheels. Absolutely incredible. They're great fun to drive. We're going to have a quick look at the standings, starting with the pros.
Yeah, quickly before we get this race underway. Oh, well, that's some sort of result. Don't know where
Won't work out. Why did that not do that? What is?
I'm not entirely sure. I can just tell you about them though. Corey Stas is on the top of the stand. Oh, here we go. That looks better. This is the AM standings. Scott Sadler leading the way. Oh no, this is the pros. Corey Stas leading the way, as I was saying, by 3 points ahead of Pat LaBrosse. Dan Kosick's up there as well in 3rd place, doing well ahead of Rick Putnam. Dave Mull. M. Crowd is 6th place at the moment, just ahead of Dave Hernandez, and then further below that, a lot of people who haven't been at very many of the rounds so far. Scott Sadler is leading in the AMS at the moment by 14 points ahead of Pat Meach, with Stephen Johnson just behind. Chase Petterjohn just a little bit further behind, and then quite a big gap back to John Amico and Tim Watchout, although Watchout has missed a couple of rounds so far, so he might be up there once we start applying drop weeks, which won't be too far away because, believe it or not, we're only 5 rounds away from the end of the season, just 20 laps around the North Side from the end of season number 9 as we get the Spec Racer Ford event underway. Pat LaBrosse immediately out of the final corner hits the front and gets the lead in towards turn number 1. Evan Crowd in 2nd place ahead of Dave Mull, and then it's Corey Stas who is trying to get past Dan Kosick here and has done. Then Dean Dilts, Dave Hernandez and Houston Elliott has hung on to the AM lead there in 8th place overall.
Yeah, he's sitting in 8th at the moment. Houston, he's tucked in nice and tidily in behind the pro cars, of course, with Anthony Solomon in behind that. He's got a Liverpool FC livery for every single car. The guy there on as well, but Pat LaBrosse out in front doing a great job, absolutely off the line. Half a second already for Pat.
Well, yeah, but no slipstream broken, and then look at that in the background there. Dave Hernandez goes very wide on the exit of the Hudson back on the way towards the bridge, and he's going backwards here. Through goes Elliott and Solomon and Putnam, and now Hightower as well on the outside in the purple. He's going to be surely clear just in time. No, he's not. Oh, he's in the grass. He's got to be careful out there, Hightower, and he's going to be in the wall here. Oh, he's got away with it, goodness me. He gets back onto the circuit, but he's lost a heap of time. At least he's not in the wall this time round. He's got away with it. Elliott versus Solomon, side by side on the way towards the Schwedenkreuz. And look at this, side by side everywhere. LaBrosse versus Krautwald as well into Schwedenkreuz. LaBrosse seems to have hung on just about. Muller's held on from Stasselo. It's not over. There's smoke in the bottom of the screen there. As somebody breaks too late, somebody locks up. They all get away with it. Still side by side. Dean Dilts gets a massive run on Corey Stas. Back down the hill again. And he's back up to 4th place again.
Yeah, action all the way through. They've been side by side for a long time at the moment. Krautfeld's now closing in on LaBrosse. We got Dean Dilts, Corey Stas side by side going up into the left-hander. We've got all of the action behind Anthony Solomon, Dave Hernandez, Tim Watchow in there. Then we've got Patrick Meach, Chris Heron. They've been fighting out. Dylan Hesselink overtaking Chase Petterjohn. Oh!
They're all off. They're all in the fence. And following them there as well. Amico, by the looks of things, goes following them in the fence. Goodness me, all 4 of them. And Johnson as well. Oh my word, everybody getting it wrong there through Adnan Forst. And unfortunately, and a spin at the end for Amico. Johnson hits the wall as well through Adnan Forst. They're all going to be a long way down. Dean Dilts, meanwhile, at Metzgersfeld has gone off here. Or is that Callenhard? He's certainly around that part of the circuit anyway. It was Metzgersfeld, and he's gone back to pit lane as well.
There he is. We'll have a look back, as always, on the replay run through a little bit later on at the end of the show. So we'll keep an eye out so we can all have a look back. But Mish is battling it out with Sadler. Sadler with Solomon. Solomon will watch out. Kosick, this group of 2, 4, 6, 8 cars at the moment. They're all in the pack at the same time. But Croughford and Labrosse not too far away from each other here. Be interested to see how effective the draft's going to be coming out of Bergwerk.
Yeah, going to be very interesting and interesting as well to see whether Mull can stay with them or not here. The battling that went on for 4th place has meant that there's a big gap here, and the front 3 are miles ahead of the others, but Mull is not quite in the slipstream either here. What a battle we're going to have for 4th place, so by the looks of things there. This is a big group. So much side by side here early on in this race. Fantastic to see. Fantastic opening to this race here in the Spec Racer Fords as they now make their way out of Bergwerk. Will try get past Labrosse here on the run up the hill through the long left-hander through to Kesterton as Solomon has gone off and he's dropped down the field as well. Again, replays to come a little bit later on. Here they come through the fast left-hander with some good speed here. And he's going to go straight through. The slipstream very powerful in these cars. And further behind, Hernandez as well is going past Putnam here. Houston Elliott trying not to get involved really, but he's sort of being forced into it. And here it comes on the outside line. Houston Elliott here, the AM leader. Oh, looking for 4th place. Look at that. Houston Elliott coming up on the inside line. He's going to get through. And Hernandez is going to get, Putnam I should say, is going to get the place back here on Hernandez. They go side by side through the McCurver as the leaders also go side by side further up into the Starstrekker. And Labrosse gets his lead back again.
There is just absolute crazy action everywhere. I did not expect this. Putnam and Hernandez absolutely going full dong. I think there was somebody at the bottom.
Elliott. Houston Elliott from the lead in the AMs, just spawning his own.
Going in there, unfortunately for him, but Hernandez and Putnam still carry on. Man, this is nutty over that one.
Absolutely. This is quite amazing so far. Goodness knows what's going to happen on the back straight with the slipstream going on the way it is at the moment. Going to be absolutely mental down there, I think, as they make their way under the Bilstein Bridge and so on. Up towards Horak they go, the highest point on the circuit, and now through this twisty section to end the lap. Bet this is a bit of fun in this this car, but not many chances to overtake down here.
No, but I still think you are right. It would be fun to do. I would have an absolute blast in the car. You need to get out. I don't know what sim you could do it in, but you need to get out and have a go. These cars are absolutely amazing. Try and whiz around here. And we'll jump on board with Dan Kosick, who's chasing Putnam. See some of the way the car is. Incredible car to drive.
Yeah, it is like a bathtub, really, in the way that it looks, to be honest.
Oh, and yeah, that's one way of saying it, I suppose.
Yeah, bathtub on wheels. And
I agree.
And just up ahead here, bit of side-by-side nearly for Putnam. Trying to get past Hernandez, but couldn't quite do it. Over the hill, will they get any airtime? Oh, they do a little bit, yeah. Just lifting off the ground slightly. Or going through the long right-hander. As Corey Stas further down, by the way, trying to regain some of those places lost a bit early on. He's now 11th in the field, but where can he recover to here? The championship leader, of course, and total points, just 3 ahead of Pat Labrosse, who is who's earned the most points per round so far, per round that he's been at. Look at that. Stas so close in behind Heron, but this is going to be quite a sight down the back straight.
It is. I love the fact on Heron's bottom back right. Please don't kill me. That's awesome. From Chris Heron there. Oh, I love that. And Houston Elliott battling in as well. But the leaders are going to be starting going down the Dottingham. I do want to see what kind of top speed they get. I've got a funny feeling it isn't going to be very fast, but they're going to be fun nonetheless.
Yeah, they're probably not going to be going very quickly. In the background, Putnam got past Hernandez further up front, by the way. So that's going to be reversed very quickly as these guys reverse their places as well. It's going to get past Labrosse. Will Labrosse get straight back past again? I would imagine so. It could be 3 or 4 wide in the background, by the way, between these guys. Oh, it is nearly. Look at this. Oh, they are going to go forward. No, it's gone wrong. They're all in the wall. They're all in the wall down the back straight. They were trying to fit 4 wide down here, and here come the others. Oh, My goodness me! Pat Mace there wasn't lifting. Neither was Scott Sadler. They've raced on through. Either side of them, there goes Stas and Elliott, Houston Elliott, who are now fighting for 6th place. They go either side of somebody there. Oh, an extraordinary moment down the back straight as 4 of them came into contact and they all end up in the wall.
Oh, no. I thought they were going to get it, and they almost did. And then I think there might have been a touch from Hernandez that jinked it out and then just put the others round, unfortunately. So close, Dave, so close. I've got a funny feeling it may have been David Anders.
We'll have a look at the replay later, but that's a lot of damage for a lot of drivers. Putnam and Hightower a bit further down now in the field, and they have just exchanged places because Putnam is coming into pit lane. Anthony Solomon is coming in as well. How was the commitment, by the way, from Pat Mace there coming through? He was not lifting at all, and he got through.
No.
It made 4 places in one go there.
Well, I think that's what yellow flag means in iRacing, isn't it? Put your foot down and gain as many places as possible. So that's what Pat did, didn't he, basically, and went hurtling off and went through and made up places. But, yeah, absolutely spectacular sight. We will have a look back at that a little bit later on. Krautfeld and Labrosse, still going at it here, and Krautfeld still trying to get past him. But then when he does get past him, can't hold on to the position.
Well, who could at this stage? Look at the slipstream that you get in these cars. This is a battle that's going to go on and on and on for the remainder of the race. Will Labrosse hold the inside and hold the place maybe here in towards Schwedenkreuz? Looks like he might do. Yep, he does. Inside line, and he holds on ahead of Evan Krautfeld, who is demoted to second. But what another great opportunity here for Labrosse as he coasted a little bit wide there. Stas knocked back early in the race. He's a little bit down the order. Kosick caught up in incidents. He's down the field. Putnam, as we just saw, involved in incidents as well. Most of his main rivals, Hightower as well, have been caught up in incidents, and he's got a great chance at striking home the advantage now. Down the inside for Adnan Forrest. He takes the lead back again.
Yeah, Labrosse again. I think it's going to be like this for most of this race. I really honestly believe it will be like this for most of the race. It does look like John Amico has had another moment. There's also 4 cars back together here. Me, Sadler, Stas and Elliott. Hope they can make it through this time. And then we've got Heron. Well, was close to David Anders. Oh, Heron's in the wall.
That's what happened. Yeah.
Yep.
He's gone for a spin. And now Forrest, that's blind there. And I wonder whether Hernandez was a part of that because he's slowing down here. Is he slowing down to let Heron back through again, maybe? As Heron tries to pick himself out the wall here and get back going again. Hernandez still going slowly here. Look at that. That's a battered machine there for Jason Hightower, who clearly thinks he can go quicker without stopping. There goes Hernandez, still slowing down there. Here comes Heron, who will now go through, and Hernandez picks up the speed again. By the looks of things, I wonder whether those two came into contact, as Heron's very, very damaged indeed.
Yeah, but he didn't slow down when he caused a bit of drama on the straight, though, did good old Dave, did he? You know what I mean? It was like, no, I'm off. See you later, boys. It was 4-0.
It's too difficult to figure out who he'd hit and who to let past again, I would imagine. As Pat Mace, by the way, drops from 1st to 4th in the group that we were watching a few moments ago, and that's a change of AM lead, by the way, back to Scott Sadler again.
Yeah, he's been off the side of the circuit, is Pat. So that could explain why he dropped off. Hernandez is back with Heron side by side. Hernandez does make through. Leaders again, still fighting it out, still battling away. Once more, go up the hill. We'll see how else they can going up here.
Yeah, let's see. I'd imagine not much more than 130, to be honest, especially if they are side by side. So they are right here, and Seven Krautfeld gets through. He did this last time, and then he got overtaken just after the curve before Stahlstrecker, so that could be a problem. Oh, well, he's not even going to get fully ahead this time round. Labrosse is going to have the legs on the straight here on the outside line, and yeah, they're not even going to get to 120 because of the drag of the hill. So side by side they go. Krautfeld has to tuck back into line again here with Pat Labrosse just out in front. A good defence so far. As Corey Stas, meanwhile, makes an overtake on Scott Sadler. Pat Mace has returned back to pit lane. Clearly something went on there out of Bergwerk. But anyway, Sadler is down 1 place overall, but only in behind Corey Stas now, who is in 4th place.
Yeah, he is at the moment, but he's got Corey Stas there with Scott Sadler tucked in behind. We've got David Anders back with Rick Putnam again. They've been having a ding-dong throughout the race, shall we say. 3 battles you can see on the left-hand side are below a second. In fact, they're below half a second. Crackford and Labrosse. Labrosse looked like at one point they were going to be side by side, and they've come back and separated away again about 4 tenths. But Hernandez and Putnam not look like they're separating at the moment.
No. And I wonder how much working together there's going to be here between these two to actually pick off a few of these drivers up ahead, because I think even realistically they could get to 7th in the next 2.5 laps. Hightower's got a battered car. 2 of them are AMs in front of them. So those 3 places surely are possible for these two. Hernandez just needs to bump Putnam down the straights, down the slipstreaming chances they've got here, which there are plenty of in these cars, and they might be able to get some positions out of this.
How far do you reckon they're going to be able to go? Realistically, I don't know. They'll get watch out. Hightower's a long way out the road, though, bud. 13 seconds.
He's damaged, though. When we saw him, his car looked very damaged to me. I need to see the front again, which is where the damage is. There it is. You can see a lot more of those wheels than you should be able to. It's pretty. It's the steering straight. That's a good point. That could be a pretty deciding factor here. Yep. Seems to be wheeling around okay. It doesn't look quite right to me, but it doesn't look terrible. Even so, I think that's a car in trouble, and he could. He's only 10 seconds up the road in 2 laps. We're on the north side, for that can very much be made up.
Yeah, I get where you're going, but I'd just be very surprised if these guys have quite got the pace to get there. But
also depends whether they work together or not. That's a big thing.
Yes, whether or not they're going to work together, or whether or not they're going to bit of an air lifted up.
There is a bit of airlift there. I'm surprised at the speed these cars are going. They do get off the ground, but there's so little downforce, I suppose. And there's basically none. It means that they do manage to lift off the ground, and the steep downhill there. Dan Kosick, meanwhile, gets past Dylan Hessling. That would have been pretty easy for him, as Dan tries to make his way back through the field again, but realistic positions for him are not looking too promising at the moment. Here, meanwhile, is Pat Labrosse versus Evan Krautwald at the lead of the race. That's a big overspeed there for Krautwald. 135 just before the hill. Pat Labrosse turns right, gets straight back into the slipstream again, and comes back under the bridge. You're going to have to time this right if you want to win this race. You're going to have to time your run, and we're going to see some games here on the last lap if it remains like this, because Pat Labrosse has got his lead back again there in just 1 straight.
Yeah, how would you play it if you're Evan Krautwald? That's going to be the question. Oh, Labrosse. Oh, nearly got it wrong. Stas and Sadler. Sadler got past Stas. Technically, Stas could probably go back past again. I think he's well close enough here, but he did not look like he wanted to make that move. Tim Watchow is alongside Chase Petterjohn. They're backwards and forwards. You can see in the background. Instead about Hernandez and Putnam playing nice and playing together, well, they haven't done that.
Yeah, so I'm saying it's only these two they can catch now, and even that's going to be difficult if they're battling away, although these two are as well. Petterjohn versus Watchow for the final spot on the podium, and the extra point that comes with in the AM class. They sort it out in favour of Chase Petterjohn, and Putnam gets back in front here. I do not see the point of that at all. Just work together. You could, at the very least, get those 2 battling AM drivers ahead. Maybe Hightower's a bit too far away, but they've not even bothered to try.
Yeah, I think you're right, but look, maybe it's just 2 drivers who are sitting there thinking, we're having fun. You know what I mean? Maybe they just sat there thinking, that's it. Now we've got Krautwald and Labrosse side by side again.
Oh, speaking of fun, that's not. Oh, that was close. Labrosse there was on the outside line and very close to getting in the grass in the same way Hightower did on the opening lap, and he went crashing down the order. Side by side, though, back down the hill here towards Schwedenkreuz. This is a good chance here for Krautwald to hold on the inside line as he just gets a bit more speed into the corner. This time he might well be able to lead for some corners in this race. But again, Labrosse round the outside. He's still on the inside, ready for Arenberg. And he's going to lose out finally. All the gravel kicked up down there is just getting into the wheels at the moment as they make their way down the hill again. Krautwald in the lead, but for how long? Labrosse gets in the slipstream and immediately pulls back out again because the slipstream's so powerful and he can get alongside so easily here. Even on the outside of the first part for Adenauer Forest, he is still the favourite here as he holds on to the inside for the second part, but no, he breaks early and Evan Krautwald has got a sustained lead now for the first time.
This is an absolute ding-dong these two are having. Absolutely incredible. Putnam and Hernandez are doing the same thing. Mind you, they have managed to catch up to Tim Watchow, so that's a freeway. But this is just side by side by side for most of this lap. This is really impressive. They're keeping this up.
Yeah, and Mull is not quick enough to stay with these two, so the gap has ballooned between second and third, and that is allowing these two, giving them the freedom to just battle here for first place. Between Labrosse and Krautwald, this is good stuff between the two of them. But at the moment, I'm seeing a trend 9 times out of 10 from what they've battled so far. Labrosse comes out the other side of the corner in front.
Yeah, he does, and that's the thing. He's allowed him to go through, but then he comes back through again. So I don't really know what Krautwald's got to do here. I can't really see how he's going to hold it because constant thing that been swapping backwards and forwards, isn't he? It's very, very difficult.
Yeah, this is tricky for Krautwald to get through properly here. As make their way now round the round Exmuller, out of the right-hander and up the hill again. We've got a 4-driver group, by the way, for 8th place going on at the moment. Petterjohn and Watchow have been caught up to very easily indeed. Petterjohn's just free for the moment, but how do Putnam and Hernandez deal with this? They're going to have to put aside their own battle for a moment.
Yeah, they're going to have to and try and settle down and keep in behind these guys because otherwise there's going to be a problem, and I think they don't want that. But are we going to see the same thing we saw last time? That's the problem. Do we really want to see these guys go 4 wide, and do we really want the dramas we had on lap 2?
Well, not quite the extent, but we'd like a battle between them. We'd like a battle between the 4 of them. As that's a good run for Hernandez. Can he make his way through in towards Bergwerk? Maybe. A small kink to the left beforehand, of course, and he gets himself to the inside, ready for that turn in the road here. Gives him the outside for Bergwerk, which he just backs out of there. So Watchow will be in the middle of these two just for the moment. And now he gets a good run there, Watchow. Now, does he get alongside Putnam? Or does Hernandez get alongside him? Do they go 3 wide? Is there even space for that? Well, we're about to find out. Outside line for Watchow. I think he is getting somewhere here, although he's not decisively in front for the moment. Through Kesselson they go, absolutely flat out now. Does Hernandez push it 3 wide, or does he stick behind? Learning the lessons of earlier on, it looks like he's sticking behind, and he's just going to push Watchow. So Watchow's going to get his nose ahead here, but not very far. Hernandez just lifting off, and so Putnam comes back again on the inside line, and he holds on to the lead on the the position, I should say, in the left-hander. Again, coming back in him on the outside, Watchow. He sticks to the outside now. Here comes Hernandez. Does he get through into Starstrucker? You have to suggest he has to here. Inside line, he breaks quite late. He needs to get this done in time for the carousel, otherwise he'll be on the outside line for it. You want to be in the banking here. He's going to have to force his way in with his nose ahead here. How can he get himself in here? He's trying to force himself in. He can't do it. He breaks late. He tries to. Oh, very well done. That was excellently done by Dave Hernandez to sneak into 10th place.
Hernandez, credit where credit's due. That was a great job getting that car in. Watchow was not giving him an inch of space there for Dave, so incredible job there. He's now free to go back after Putnam again. This 4-car train, I think, is going to hit each other when they're on the dot and a hoe, and well, hopefully, let's see if they can make it for time.
Let's hope so. It was an extraordinary accident on the back straight a couple of laps ago. On the end of lap number 1, he tried to go 4 wide. You can do it, by the way, in these cars. They are small enough, but I'm not sure these guys are going to want to after that. Although, having said that, 2 of them weren't involved in the crash from before, so maybe they won't be quite as wary. We'll wait and see. Although, having said that, everybody saw it, so it's difficult to say you didn't know. Meanwhile, Labrosse gets past Krautwald. That's a strange place to do it. He's done it just before Straubenschanz, just after the Stefan Belafez there. And that's very bizarre. He's still alongside there, Krautwald briefly, but now Labrosse leads, going on to the back straight. How are they going to play it this time round?
It's going to be the same, isn't it? It's going to be the same kind of scenario that they've had. He's going to close up, even though he's only 6 tenths away, I still think he'll close up, and then they'll swap back again. And then by the time they get down there, it'll be swapped back again. But Parfitt now can really look at playing this. There you go. Look, under 6 tenths, bang, 5.5, 5.4, 5.3, straight down. Now he's going to come at him at an absolute rapid rate of knots, is Evan Krautfield. He needs to be that far away, I think, because it should be effectively only one job done as he's just going over the crest of the hill.
He's just got to time this right. He's timed it a bit better this time round. Beforehand, Labrosse was already back in the slipstream again while they were passing the pit lane on the right-hand side. But this time round, he's only got in just under the bridge, and he's still got the time hit, but it's a lot more difficult to get through when you have to go side by side through the Tiergarten. So maybe a move a little bit later for Krautfield last lap, and he might have this, but it's not over here yet. He gives him the place there. I think Krautfield's had enough runs at this to know what he has to do to pass Pat Labrosse on this last lap, and now he's going to try and do it as we look back at the 4 in behind. Look at this. There's going to be a lot of speed down here for somebody. Hightower is just getting, Hernandez just getting into the lead of the position here. Here goes Putnam on the right-hand side. Oh, they're weaving around. Oh, Hernandez gone. There was a small clip there. Page on there got into the back of Hernandez by the looks of things, and that was just a small bit of contact that has sent Hernandez straight into the wall, and here they go again. Oh, that was close, really close to contact there between Watchow and Petterjohn, who are battling here for a podium place in the Atlas. Petterjohn's now slammed into the back of Rick Putnam, the reigning champions in the wall down at the Tiergarten at the hands of Chase Petterjohn, who's gone straight into the back of him there.
Oh, he literally just come in and hit him, squashed his nose up, and that battle, it seems to be that 4 car train when they get involved that they end up having dramatics, and saw it again with Hernandez. Oh, mate. I tell you one thing, though. Even I've got to admit, this looks like an absolutely nutty race to drive in with these cars at this circuit.
Absolutely, it does. It's been absolutely fantastic so far, I've got to say. Best race of the season, I would suggest. As Labrosse gets down the inside through Schwedenkreuz there and into Arenberg. He is ahead of Krautfield. How are these two going to play this on the last lap now? This is going to be very exciting indeed. It's surely going to come down to those final corners.
Yeah, it will do. But Krautfield must have been knowing this by now, dude. He must know. He's either being really confused right now, just sitting there thinking, right, every time I go past Ross on the Nottingham, he gets me again. So do I then go in there in the lead, wait for Labrosse to go past and hope that I can get him? Or does he drop back to 6 tenths, push him a little bit, and then when he gets to the rest of the hill by the Bills, does he then pull out and go for it? I don't know. Krautfield's got a big decision to make.
He has, yeah. I think he will feel pretty confident coming onto the straight second because he's had so many goes at this. I think he's been second coming onto the straight every lap, actually. And so he's had time to work this out. Although, having said that, Pat Labrosse has had time to work out how to defend it also. He knows just through that final corner, the run's not especially important. You know, he could purposely get a bad run onto the back straight and aim to come back past him later on. I reckon we could have the situation of them lifting off almost with each other as they go side by side through Versailles, and that was not expected. This is not... Oh, and there's a big slide there. Big moment now. Krautfield has got to get back into the slipstream with Pat Labrosse here, otherwise the race is gone and the gap goes over a second here. Huge moment now. Huge moment for this race.
Yeah, Krautfield's now just got to go hell to leather. Got to go hell to leather. He needs that 6-7 tenths onto the Nottingham to really make this an opportunity. Out a second. I'm a little bit worried now. Is it game over? It looks like Mish and Heron have had an incident as well.
Okay. Again, we'll have a look at the replays a little bit later on. There's going to be a lot of cars to come across the line off the back here, by the way, here today. So plenty of battles to watch come to the line after the leaders, who are a long way ahead of the rest of the field. I mean, Tim Watchow in 7th, for example, is 48 seconds off the lead. This is some of the bigger gaps we've seen all season. Krautfield did just get a whiff of slipstream then on the way out of Bergwerk. and so he is back in the game. He's actually closing in very quickly on Pat Labrosse here. Stas and Sadler haven't been fighting all day. Sadler's just trying to let him get towed away from the rest of the AM field, and it looks like the AM Championship lead is going to take another victory. Meanwhile, Krautwald gets ahead of Labrosse here, further up front, and he is there in front now. That's very interesting. Brom just over a second adrift and in trouble. He's now in the lead again of this race.
For how long? I don't really know. I can't really sit here and say, this is it, he's going to get the win, he's going to... No, it's not been like this all the way through. Sadler and Corey Stas are still going at each other. Looks like Peter John's had another little dramas there. So, great job from these guys still continuing to fight. Dave Mole's not far up the road here. He has kind of slipped back into their grip. So, I'll see whether or not Mole can hold this in carousel for the rest of this lap. He has slipped their sights, Dave Mole, but he has spent 4 laps driving around on his pod to be.
He has, yeah. He hasn't had very much to do so far today. So last lap, Krautwald was in front at this stage in the lap as well, but he got overtaken just through the Stefan Bellafest and in towards Schwalbenstrand by Labrosse, who clearly does want to lead here at all opportunities. Well, is he going to be leading right at the very last here, at the right moment? That's going to be the interesting thing to see. It's going to be another finish that goes right down to the very end of the race. Seen it so many times in the tail racing ring runners. So often it comes down to that final run into the Tiergarten, and it's going to come down to that again here in this round.
Yeah, but we loved it. Come on, we can't sit there and say, Mr. O'Leary, that we have not fully loved this race. It has been amazing. We've awesome cars. Still got awesome cars to come as well. I've loved every single minute of this season, and especially next one.
Yeah, that's going to be a change of pace, that's for sure. When we bring out the hypercars in a week's time, before the BMW M2 CSR and the GT3s before Duck Week on the last day of the season. Meanwhile, Dan Kosik's dropped down the field. We'll have a look at his offing, I'd imagine, in the end of the race. But a new situation. Labrosse not leading going onto the straight, it seems.
No. Remember what I said to you not long ago? Is Krautwald hoping that if Labrosse does come through, he can retake him again, like Labrosse has done to him. So he's clearly taken this option rather than being the car that follows. So let's see how this one goes.
However, he's let himself get a long way away there. He had a big gap. So Krautwald just took a bit of a slow final corner just to try and get him a bit closer again. But Labrosse then just slowed down again as well. And now Krautwald's really slowing down. Oh, he's getting overtaken very quickly here. Now he needs to get back on the power again quickly. He needs to get back in the slipstream quickly. Labrosse has gone here. He's trying to steal a march. He's weaving all over the place down the straight. And I think Krautwald's misjudged this. I think he's misjudged this. And Labrosse might well take home the win here. Half a second. The gap's going to start to come back down again. He's still got the slipstream. He's still going to get the slingshot, but is it too late? He's closing in here pretty slowly, to be honest. Under the bridge, they're going to go single file. It's going to have to be in these final corners where they battle side by side again here. Now then, Krautwald down the hill. He's going to have to do it here. He's going to have to do it at the very last. Here comes Labrosse on the inside line trying to defend here. Krautwald on the outside through these pots in towards the braking zone. Absolutely door to door for the win here. This is the final corner of the race coming up now to the right. They've been the wall nearly. Labrosse on the inside line breaks late. He's going to get there, is he? Oh, he just about does. He sent it into the final corner and he comes out the other side with a race win. Just ahead of Evan Krautwald there by just a quarter of a second. Fantastic finish between the two of them and great gamesmanship on the final straight of the race as well.
Yeah, that does not do. 2 temps was not as good as that race was. That was just unbelievable how close they were. And he picks the other option. He picked the second option to try and let him through. He should have ran his line in a straight line and allowed Labrosse to close up naturally. I think he would have been able to get him back. But I do believe him slowing up really cost him there, and he should have tried to keep that power going.
I think he just misjudged it a little bit. But then again, they went into the final corners absolutely door to door, absolutely level. it was a straight fight in the end. The slipstream actually didn't matter that much in the end. It was the door-to-door battling in those final few quarters that ended up deciding it. Though, despite all of the games going on beforehand, it did just come down to side-by-side in the end. As we have a look now on the final straight of the final battle of the race between Dean Dilts and Christopher Heron. Now, Dilts has had a bit of a difficult race. He's dropped down the field a couple of times, but this is only his fifth appearance of the season. He's missed out on a couple of rounds in the supercars and the Clios. He's back again for another weird combination, though, with the Spec Racer Ford, and he's not quite dragged ahead of Aaron quite the way you'd normally see here, and so the battle for 14th is going to be settled in the final few corners, just as the battle for first place was settled. Here they come into the corners. There's contact. Aaron's in the wall in a big way there. Aaron's in the wall, and he's going to spin round. He needs to get going again pretty quickly. Pat Mace is coming here in 16th place. Mace second in the championship, taking a big hit in the points today, but can he regain one of them maybe? As Heron gets himself back going again with a lot of suspension damage. Mace is not quite going to get there, and Heron will at least finish 15th.
Oh, ouch. That was harsh. He put him straight in the wall. Wow. Man, I wish I was in this race now. This looks absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, fantastic racing between everybody there. But it is a race victory for Pat Labrosse, just ahead of Evan Cratwell by a couple of tenths, about a quarter of a second on the line. Third place went to Dave Mull. Corey Stas ended up hanging on from Scott Sadler in the end, who wins in the AMS. Houston Elliott and Tim Watchow join him on the podium, with Chase Petterjohn finishing in 8th place. Rick Putnam won't be very pleased with Chase Petterjohn, I've got to say. He'll be finishing in 9th place, just over a minute back, with Dave Hernandez just in behind him. Then Anthony Solomon, who finished 11th, held off Dan Kosick towards the end there. Hessink finishes 13th, ahead of Dean Dilts, who we saw at the end with Christopher Heron. Pat Mace losing ground in the AM Championship by finishing 16th today. John Amico retired on the last lap. Jason Hightower seemed to retire halfway through the race. Stephen Johnson did after the opening lap of the race. So, brace yourselves. This is going to take us about 4 laps time in another half an hour to have a look at all these replays from this race, starting with Jason Hightower, who went off the road at Flugplatz. On the outside line here of, I think that's Hernandez on the inside line, very close to it, and he did end up in the wall actually, and dropped a lot of positions.
Yeah, and then we've got further up, Stephen Johnson and Chase Petterjohn. This was, I think we just caught the back end of this, and that was Stephen Arenberg missing everybody. Chase Petterjohn, but that was awesome.
They're all in.
Yeah, that was Hightower was in that as well. Don't worry, mate. They weren't the only two who went off there. Hightower went off. I believe John Amico went off.
This is weird.
There goes Hightower. There goes John Amico.
Oh,
they've all followed each other on that one.
And then they did the same at the very next corner. These four. Adnat Forrest. So Johnson's going very slowly because he smashed the wall, and so he's very damaged. But further up front there, side by side battling went on. Or were they not? Yeah, they were eventually side by side here, and they all ended up in the fence. We saw this live, but we'll see it again here. And Hightower's a bit of a culprit in that one, I've got to say. They all follow each other off, and John Amico joins them for no reason at all, really.
Yeah, but did you see? I do love them. What's John Amico? They're already going for it, right? They've already had their accident. He's not even come around the corner.
Oh, well, that's why.
And then he ends
up. I thought he missed his braking point. He actually got that wrong from a long way out.
Yeah, he ended up just getting involved in their situation. There's been a lot of incidents, minor incidents, I think, that has gone on. Stephen Johnson, he is, that's, help me on that. I can, that one again. That is Johnson off again. John Amico goes off not long after that, just that little touch there. That was
Johnson, who's blinking again anyway, so that's not we're not going to be able to see that even if we wanted to. Dean Dilts was running well in 4th place initially, but he broke too late for Metzgersfeld and he smashed into the wall. Well done to Rick Putnam, by the way, for not following him straight off there. We've seen that plenty of times in this opening lap, and Putnam saw the driver ahead of him going off and thought, he's broken too late, I'm going to stick to my guns here, and he managed to stay on the road himself, so well done to him. He got overtook by Houston Elliott, who then went to spin at Starstruck, and this was from the lead in the AM class at the time.
Yeah, it was, and unfortunately for him, he managed to sit back in and out. Now this is Dylan Hesseling's crash. So it must be rather spectacular. Actually have it marked in down in the carousel and pops out the other side.
No.
Mind you, we
I
are.
thought it was gonna,
Go on.
I thought it was going to be beached.
We are still on lap number 1. All right, just this was it.
Here we go. This is what you've all been waiting for. So Hernandez moves out into the side of who is that on the very
Watch
outside
out.
line there in the cream.
Oh!
Look at the cars coming through here with no regard for their own safety or anyone else's. Just completely put to the floor.
Who was that on the outside? Mish.
And steaming through. Who is that on the outside line? It's not Pat Mace comes steaming. So he sees it happening and does. Have a look at this. Have a look and listen to this. Smoke, cars everywhere, body parts. Hold the steering straight, slalom. Oh, well done. That was very well done indeed from Pat Mace. Goodness me.
But this is here.
Yeah, watch out. That's it.
Yeah, Hernandez, watch out. And then Putnam. I do like
Yeah. So effectively, that stars. That's outrageous. So Hernandez effectively sees the 3 wide and goes for it, and you know he's absolutely right to do so because there is space for it. However, he does turn straight into the side of Tim Watchout, and that does create the whole palaver.
Yeah, it does. It kills everybody pretty much. John Amico, by this point, his car's squashed up like a accordion, and he's trying to get it in
lane.
Just so for John Amico. Right, Chris Heron and Dave Hernandez. This was their other little ta-ta-ta they had, and Dave sent Chris off into the shadow.
Oh no!
Or
Didn't have a great race, Dave Hernandez.
no,
I'm afraid.
he said about Mish going back to pit lane, and we didn't know why. Well, this is why he went back to pit lane.
So it's a spin on his own there through Versiphon, which has meant he scraped the wall. So he dropped to the back end of the group. But, he carried on. For how much longer is the question. Is it the very next corner? No, a bit later.
Yeah, it's a little bit further down actually. Not far, but
it's only a couple of corners later. Yeah. So in towards Bergvik. Oh, he's already on the grass and slide spins, scrapes himself along the wall, and that is that. And so he ends up finishing 16th in the race. That is a disappointing race for Pat Mace. Chris Heron, meanwhile, to the final corners. Oh dear, all over the place there.
On his own. This was another one with Dylan. Bit involved. A little bit of it.
Yeah, finished down the order. Oh, couldn't get turned in for miss, hit, miss, and unfortunately it's miss for him there. Straight into the wall, scrapes along the outside barrier, and he does again here at Bergvik, unfortunately. Too shallow on the way in, up on the curb on the outside, very big curve, especially compared to these cars. And he nose dives into the wall.
We're on lap 3 now with Stephen Johnson. Already battered. We didn't get any repairs done. But unfortunately for Stephen, him.
Oh dear.
Better idea. He just goes straight on, brakes late, can't get the car rotated, and that puts him back in pit lane. Final lap, Dave Hernandez.
Yeah, this is penultimate lap. This
Yep.
This is. Pettejohn nudges in there, and Hernandez loses the car. So that's on Chase Pettejohn, unfortunately, who was trying to. I'm not sure what he was trying to do really, but just nudges him slightly. And straight into the wall, just in front of that crazy battle going on in the background. Jason Hightower was going for his own big crash, and that ended his race down there as he towed back to pit lane because they were oncoming. And there goes Putnam, who very nearly joined him there. He was also hit by Chase Pettejohn.
Where did Hightower's nose go?
Flew off.
Yeah, but where? He just disappears.
I don't know.
Look, back. Oh, it's gone. Looks like Harry Potter. Yeah. So that was closely followed. We obviously had the Putnam incident in behind that, didn't it?
Yeah, and this is Pettejohn, unfortunately, just brakes slightly too late. It's a misjudgment rather than a what would you say? He wasn't trying to do anything there. He just broke too late. Is what I'm trying to say. So Putnam unfortunately goes around. Christopher Heron ended up in a battle late on, but to get to that, he had to spin round a couple of times. Careful doing that. We say it every week. He very nearly beached himself there.
And then this is Pat Measham having more dramas. Managing to hold on. No.
That's the longest spin I've ever seen.
Right, this is Chase having his own spin this time, just completely on his own. And he's going to go that back. Right, and correct it. Now, John Amico, we didn't really see much of John, and due to the fact that a lot of it he spent time. Another one of John's highlight.
Spins around, and again, needs to be careful of not getting beached on the curb. I think these cars are actually too high to get beached.
Oh,
the ride height is okay.
Oh, he is.
Is he?
Yep. Can't go backwards or forward.
Oh no. Yeah. Well, there doesn't look to be any contact with the floor from this camera angle. It doesn't look like it, but anyway, there clearly is.
Clearly is. Oh yeah, there is. Look. Can't get it off. And the final one is Chris Heron. Dean Dills just turns around and says, "Sorry, son, off you go." There, poor old Chris.
Well, I don't know. I think it looks like Heron turns into Dilts to me. Anyway.
Really?
Yeah, it does a bit. Yeah.
No
From that angle,
way.
it did. From that angle, it looked like he turned into me.
Oh, watch Dilts.
Dilts doesn't move his line there, from what I can see.
I don't know if you're right, but I might have to.
It doesn't matter realistically. It
was...
hasn't really affected the race very much. But that's the end of the very long replay run through. Well, that was a lot of fun, I've got to say. I thoroughly enjoyed the Spec Race at Ford round of this championship. It remains to be seen what we get on Duck Week, but as far as we can see so far in Season 9, we won't see any racing quite like that again this season. Hopefully it returns for Season 10 because that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I thought it was a quality race. And I think going in, I'm so looking forward. I just want to know how many. Is this going to be the most expensive car park at Nords? Or is it going to be the most expensive carbon factory with the bits are going to be flying up all over the place? I doubt very much we're not going to have any replays to run through.
Exactly, yeah. It's going to be very interesting indeed. As you might expect, we are on the longest layout of the Nordside for next week because it is the hypercars. Even then, they're probably going to be going quicker than these cars go around this bit of the Nordside. We'll keep you updated on that, of course, when we get to it. But thanks very much for watching this round of the championship. This has been the Tail Racing Ring Runners for round number 8 in the Spec Racer Ford. I've been Ewan O'Leary alongside James Parfitt. We'll be back in a few days' time for the Hypercars round of this championship. Until then, goodbye for now.